Rise. Judge Vonda B. Court is now in session. Judge, this is the Ocean case.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay. Is it Miss or Mrs. Ocean?
Miss.
Miss Ocean, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
I need more money each month to pay for, his activities and food and clothing, his expenses as he's getting older.
Whose activities?
Kevin's, our son.
Kevin? Okay, how old is Kevin?
He's 14.
14, okay. And you need more money. He's not giving you enough money?
No, he pays for tuition and healthcare, but,
Wait a minute. He pays for tuition? If I remember correctly about tuition, it's kind of...
Right, buckle up. This case is not what you think May Oceanian is demanding. Increased financial support from her ex for their 14-year-old son. She cites rising costs for tuition, healthcare, football, guitar lessons, and more. But here's the twist. The father already pays nearly $600 a month and says he contributes even more when their son stays with him. So who's truly pulling their weight? And when do parental expectations cross into legal overreach? This isn't just about money, it's about fairness, effort, and responsibility. Judge Vonda is about to deliver a decision that will test the line between reasonable support and unreasonable demands. You don't want to miss this.
It's not anything that's cheap. So how much is he paying in tuition?
$395 a month.
$395 a month. And you say he pays what else?
For healthcare.
Healthcare? How much is healthcare?
It's $185 a month.
$185 plus $395. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know? What type of activities?
Well, he's joined the football team.
Football.
And then he plays guitar.
Guitar. Okay. And has he enrolled in those activities yet? Or
Yes.
Okay. And you're paying for those?
Yes.
And you want him to pay for them?
At least help, yes.
Okay. So there isn't anything else you want to tell me before I move to him?
No.
All right. Sir?
Yes.
You pay $395 in tuition.
That's correct.
And is it $185 in health insurance? Because what I see $85 in health insurance.
It's $185.
It's $185. Okay. And then what else?
There's guitar lessons, clothes. Whenever he stays with me, I pay for, all his activities and everything else too. So it starts to add up.
Okay.
Rising in the courtroom as Miss Ocean. Demands reimbursement for new expenses, sports, and music lessons for their 14-year-old son. But here's the legal reality. Under Texas law, extracurriculars aren't mandatory unless both parents agree or the court orders them. Judge Vonda B. pushes back, questioning why one parent should carry the full load just because the child's needs have grown. Things shift further when Ms. Ocean admits she also has a job. That's when the judge lays it down. Both parents must contribute. Support isn't about shifting, full responsibility. So, viewers, what do you think? Is this a fair ask, or is she dodging her?
Correct.
I'm not understanding this, ma'am. The way that child support works is supposed to pay a certain percentage for the child, not for you to just get off scot-free and have him paying for everything. That's not how this works.
I understand, but as he's getting older, his expenses are getting more.
And I understand that. And what do you do for a living?
I'm an administrative assistant.
So you make money too, right?
Yes.
So it naturally follows that you should be covering some of these expenses as well, correct?
Yes.
All right. So I'm not going to have him be responsible for each one of those things individually because he's doing a lot already. And sir, where do you work?
I'm a pool cleaner.
Pool clean. How much do you make a year doing that?
About $45,000.
All right. Yeah, that's not how this works. I mean, did a friend of yours tell you that you can come in here and get him to, run him through the slammer and have him pay everything? Did somebody tell you that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, were you thinking that on your own?
I just wanted more help paying for this.
All right, so I'm going to need you to go ahead and pay for some of this on your own because I'm not going to make him responsible for everything. What I have here, sir, I'm not sure if your employer made a mistake on your documentation, but what you provided to the court for medical insurance, I have $85, not $185. So I only can give you credit for what's in front of me. If
The father isn't dodging responsibility. He's a working pool cleaner, earning $45. He owes $0 a year already, covering tuition and health insurance. Judge Vonda B. recognizes his effort and quickly dismisses the idea that he's slacking off. Instead, she turns to the mother, questioning whether she expected child support to cover every expense. That's not how it works. Child support is based on shared responsibility, not a personal wish list. Legal support has limits and fairness goes both ways. So here's the real debate. Should courts demand more accountability from both parents or push for greater generosity even when finances are already stretched?
but I have to go with what's in front of me. So based on $45,000 a year, I have your gross at $3,600. I have your net at $2,948.13, which would bring your child support amount to $589.63. However, considering that you do pay a lot for this child already, the Texas Family Code allows me to consider factors to deviate from what your child support amount should be. One of those factors being child care expenses. So what I'm going to do, instead of making you pay that $589.63, I'm going to make your child support $395 just to ensure that the child's tuition is covered every month. So that's your education. Your child's education is very important. So your child support is going to be based on that. So $395.
Here comes the twist, mixed with a dose of realization and confusion. The father walks in thinking his child support payment is about to increase, only to find out it's actually going down. Judge Vonda B. delivers the news with humor, but doesn't mince words. His new $395 payment will now officially cover tuition, while he'll continue handling health care separately. For the mother, this is a serious wake-up call. She's expected to step up and share the financial load. This wasn't a courtroom takedown, it was a reset on responsibility. Viewers, what's your take? Did Judge Vonda strike the right balance, or should Dad be covering more of the
So you're raising my child support?
No, your child support is going down. So it
Oh, okay.
it's
I'm not good at
technical.
math.
Yeah, no problem.
I was told there would be no math during
well,
this session. So.
And that's one, I thought that it would be the same thing when I went to law school. Somebody lied to
In the end, Judge Vonda balanced empathy with accountability. She acknowledged the father's steady support and shut down unrealistic demands. By locking tuition into child support, she reminded both parents that shared custody means shared costs. This case proves the courtroom isn't about emotional appeals, it's about fairness and facts. If this hearing opened your eyes to what real co-parenting looks like, you're not alone. Responsibility isn't optional. It's expected.
$589.63. Your child support is going to be the $395 a month for the tuition that you would pay. And you, of course, will have to keep covering the health insurance. And if you choose to pay for football and guitar, that's up to you. But ma'am, you need to be responsible for something. So does anybody have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Any questions?
No, I appreciate it though.
No problem. Well, you don't even have to thank me. You can thank the legislator because they give us the option to do this for people. It's just the right thing to do. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed. Hi guys, we've reached the educational portion of our show. I just wanted to go over what you all watched in the case of the ocean. So in this particular case, mom was seeking for dad to not only pay child support, but she also wanted him to continue paying the expenses for the child as well as paying the child's tuition. Would he be court ordered to do that? Absolutely not. Under Texas law, the court takes the obligor's net resources, and that amount is, it's a reasonable amount. It's based on what they actually make each month. Well, a court can also do what's called a deviation from the standard child support amount. The court can consider additional factors in deviating from this amount. In this particular case, you saw the court use childcare expenses as a reason to deviate. So instead of setting his child support at that monthly obligation based on his net resources, the court deviated from that and made him responsible for the child's tuition every day, which protects the child's education. So that was the reason why in that particular segment, you saw that there was a deviation from what he should have been paying in child support to covering the child's education. Do you know of anyone who's experienced a similar situation? Be sure to subscribe to our channel and make sure you comment.